father passes away, and basically that chapter of the mob, the way it used to be, the way it was glorified in the movies, that whole way of life died.
Died. Well, my father died in Jamaica Hospital in Queens. So when I called my house up, my mother's house that morning to talk to my father, that's when they told my brother, answered the phone, and he was crying. And he goes, Daddy's dead, Dad. And he told me my father died. So I went back inside the unit because my friends were there, and I told my friend Sal Pecchio, who was my childhood friend, who my father loved, I told him, and he ran in his cell and started crying. He got all upset. I told him my father passed away. We were like in shock. And then I went to the phone and I called up my friend Carl Amato to find out if he knew anything was going on. And when I called up my friend Carl Amato, he told me that Wise Guys, that this guy Skinny Dom and Mikey Gal, who was Tony's brother, and this guy Freddie Hot, these three Wise Guys, well, Skinny Dom was the captain. The other two guys were Wise Guys. They had already started sending for guys that were around my father for them to bring them Andy's money. My father's body wasn't even in the funeral parlor yet. It was still in the vault in Jamaica Hospital in the freezer. And they were sending for guys because they sent for this kid Carl. They were actually sending for guys already so they could bring them my father's money. That's how the mob winded up. They took everything. When my father died, they took everything. They stopped giving my mother money. They didn't look out for my mother. They didn't look out for my family at all. They stopped. I had a guy who was bringing me money to my first wife, Alice, for my son's health insurance and my commissary. They told the guy to bring that, because anything that was illegal, they took. They told the guy to bring them the money. She actually went there and had an argument with them. They left me with a couple. I had a vending company with my father. They took the company. They left me just with a couple of locations to appease me, so I could get some money. They left me with a couple of locations. They just didn't do the right thing with me. They didn't look out for my family at all. And my father saved their lives, went to bat for them a million times, made them all earn
50
money.
years, man.
Yeah, they just, it was terrible. And that's when, so I started getting disillusioned. And then when I got out, like I said, Nikki had transferred me to him. And I went to work. I went to work for my father-in-law. I went to work for my father-in-law's tuxedo business. I wasn't really doing anything illegal. I didn't want to go back to prison. I mean, I just did 8 years and 3 months. I already have now, at this point, I got almost 14 years in prison. I mean, I'm in my 50s. I have 2 kids that, grew up without me. I just was, and
how does that feel, man? How does that feel when you think about it?
It's terrible.
Still bothers you to this day, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it got better. I mean, yeah, definitely. Thank God. I'm blessed because my kids love me. My kids love me. Thank God. Yeah. I mean, all this stuff I put my family through. My mother, my kids. My wives, my 2 wives. My first wife passed away. Thank God I could have made amends with her, and we became friends before she passed away. My second wife, I'm not with her anymore, but we're still, friends. She still talks to me. My daughters, I talk to my daughter every day. I talk to my son every day. It's not, and that's my message. My message is that, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world to be what I was. And, now when I look back on it, we were so wrong. Like I talk to my father sometimes, I look at his picture and I go, we were wrong. We had it all wrong. We called people schmucks, but we were the schmucks. We call people jerk-offs. We were the jerk-offs. These people are all retired. All my friends, my legitimate friends that I call jerk-offs, they're retired. They own homes. You know what I mean? I have to go to work every day because I can't pay my bills. I'm 66. I can't retire. I don't have a pension. The mob didn't give me a pension. Yeah. And so, so my father died. Here's this guy, Fat Andy, gave his blood, sweat, and tears to this family, killed people for them, robbed for them, did everything was asked of him to do from when he was in his early 20s. Now he's dead, and they took everything. So I get out, and Nikki had me transferred to him. I'm working for my father-in-law. Hello?
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm working for my father-in-law. minding my own business. You know, I'm sneaking around a little bit, but I'm not doing anything. And then the FBI show up at my door again. They show up at my door. They tell me that, well, you're going to get indicted and this and that, and blah, 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 blah. And I chased them. And then we get word that there's a big indictment. Skinny Diamond got arrested for killing my brother-in-law, and on a RICO. And then we got word coming down that somebody, either me, Ronnie One Arm, or John Gotti Jr. were going to get arrested on Dominic's case. We didn't know which one it was. We got word that one of us are indicted with with Skinny Dom, and it was winded up being me. I winded up getting indicted, and I get arrested. And I was done. You know, at that point in time, I got arrested again. I was only home about a year. I got arrested, and I just hit a bottom. You know, that lifestyle just hit a bottom. I just hit a bottom. That's the best way I could feel it. I was just emptied out. And the FBI agent gave me his card. This FBI agent named Jerry Conrad. For some reason, I never kept those cards throughout the years. Whenever I got a card from law enforcement, I just ripped it up and threw it out. It wasn't even a thought in my mind. But for some reason, I don't know I kept his card. I held on to his card. I put it in my pocket, and I kept his card. And I got bailed out 2 weeks later, and I hid his card in my house, his FBI card. I hid it in my house, and I got an attorney, and I had no money. You know, I had no money to pay the attorney, and I reached out for help. Nobody wanted to help me. I needed $25,000 for the lawyer to get it started, and
you were charged with killing
my brother-in-law. Right, I was charged with a RICO.
Sister's husband.
Right, I was charged with a RICO with a bookmaking and murder conspiracy. I was facing life. No parole. I was facing life. Nobody wanted to help me. My father was dead, and so I kept this guy's card, and I would pick up the phone to call him, and I would hang up. I'd pick up the phone and I'd hang up. Because, you know, I wasn't raised that way, but I just was turned to, you know, nobody called me to see if how I had a fundraiser. They had a fundraiser for me. My friend Georgie had a fundraiser for me. I got maybe about $3,000 or $4,000 together from a few people. I used it to pay some bills. I gave a lawyer some money, and I could see my co-defendant on the case, Dominic. He was sort of trying to save himself. They asked me, I needed some. I hired an attorney to do motions for me, and they wouldn't help this attorney give me the paperwork to do the motions. He had a fake alibi that was just going to help him and not me. So I sort of started saying, these guys are like trying to set me up here, because I was the last person to be with Frankie. So like everything was pointed at me. And like I said, nobody wanted to help me and everything. So, you know, it was just, I was done. And I saw this guy that was sort of a knockaround guy in my neighborhood. I went to see him because I used to be allowed to go out to see my lawyer. And on my way home, I had some time. I would stop and see people. And I saw this guy that I respected. And he told me, you know, listen, what are you waiting for to cooperate? You know, what are you doing? What are you going to spend the rest of your life in jail? These guys, there's no honor no more. You don't know these people. You don't love these people. Your father's dead. Tony Lee's dead. Nobody that you love was with you. Sal wasn't with you. Nobody that you care about was with you when this guy got murdered. I said, I can't do it. I can't disrespect my father like that. And the guy says, disrespect your father. He goes, you killed somebody. You killed people for your father. You're not disrespecting your father. He's dead. So that sort of like started me thinking. And then I had an attorney, a friend of mine, had called me and told me, listen, I looked into your case and everything. He said, and these guys, I think, are going to throw you under the bus. You need to call the government. An attorney told me that. So at that point, I wanted to save my family. And I still couldn't call the government. I still couldn't do it. I took the card and I gave it to my wife. And I told my wife, when you go to work today, call this number and tell this guy to come see me. I still couldn't make the call. I made my wife make the call. And she went to work and she called them and they came to see me.